Right now at 6, a jury delivers its verdict in a cross-state human trafficking case.
And the critical health care gap putting new Wisconsin mothers at risk.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, I'm Emily Brown.
And I'm Ken Kozarowski. A La Crosse man is guilty of human trafficking. A jury today finding 45-year-old Dre Broadnax guilty on all 5 of his felony charges. He's convicted of forcing a woman to cross the state and perform sex acts with multiple men as punishment for losing drug money. Chantil Kibler is also facing charges related to this incident. Her jury trial is scheduled for June 9th.
A Buffalo County man says he's alive today thanks to 2 off-duty first responders. In March, Kevin and Leah Kubis were driving through Glencoe Township when they saw what looked like a bonfire. Their first responder training kicked in immediately. It turned out to be a house fire with Michael Helgeson asleep inside. They jumped into action, breaking down the door, woke him up, and got him and his dog out safely. The heroic couple stopped by News 8 Now this morning to talk about their experience.
It's always a great feeling. I mean, sadly, that's kind of the business. You don't always have good wins.
Right.
So when you're able to save somebody and have that win, it is very touching. It is.
This month, the Buffalo County Sheriff's Office presented the couple with life-saving awards for their heroic actions.
It's a symbol of the importance of being there for someone in their hour of need. We just got there, and you're trained to do in that kind of a situation what you're supposed to do, and so that's literally what we did, and this is just a reminder of that.
Investigators determined the blaze started in the chimney. Nobody was hurt.
Medicaid coverage could be expanded for new mothers.
News 8 Now's Grace Monk is in the newsroom with the details on the legislation that would make it possible.
The state Senate passed a bill to extend postpartum Medicaid coverage. All it needs now is approval from the Assembly. Wisconsin's Medicaid program currently offers women 60 days of postpartum coverage. The bill aims to expand that period to 1 year, allowing low-income women above the poverty line to qualify for Medicare.
Hormones change and their bodies are changing, so if they've had any conditions during their pregnancy, such as gestational diabetes or hypertension, they need continuing care.
According to the DHS, between 2020 and 2022, 2/3 of postpartum deaths in Wisconsin occurred after 2 months.
Generally, we think about the first 3 months postpartum, but really postpartum mood and anxiety disorders can be diagnosed up to 1 year postpartum.
The American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 allowed states to extend postpartum coverage. Wisconsin is currently one of 2 states without the extension.
It makes absolutely no sense that Wisconsin be isolated with Arkansas as far as not providing postpartum Medicaid coverage.
The legislation currently has bipartisan support, which passed through the Senate in a vote of 32-1 on Tuesday.
We actually put aside partisan differences. We actually moved away from the ideological wars that have been taking place, unfortunately, in this state for too long, and recognize that let's put our mothers first.
The state assembly will decide what happens next to the bill. Last year, this legislation didn't pass through the assembly. In the newsroom, Grace Monk, News 8 Now.
Thank you, Grace. Congressman Derek Van Orden touring Mid-City Steel in La Crosse this afternoon. He met with multiple La Crosse business owners and leaders discussing how to strengthen local, state, and national manufacturing and production.
The Chamber, we're looking at all the different ways that we can get our businesses connected to electeds to share their concerns like uncertainty, holding off on making major purchases, for example, for their business, possibly holding off on hiring until there's a little bit more clarity on what's happening with the overall national economy.
At the same time, protesters gathered near Mid-City Steel by Buckner Place and Milwaukee Streets in an attempt to speak with the congressman about Trump administration and Republican-backed proposed cuts to things like education, Social Security, and agriculture.
Crawford County is taking steps to prevent mosquito-borne illnesses this season. The county health department is highlighting the danger of unused tires as mosquito breeding grounds. Officials advise covering, recycling, or properly storing detached tires to eliminate standing water where mosquitoes reproduce.
Mosquito love to find these tires full of water because it's just an ideal place for them to lay their eggs and for larvae to grow. So, we just encourage everyone to, again, keep those tires under wraps, keep them under a tarp, under an overhang, or send them in for recycling.
Now, these insects can carry West Nile virus and other diseases.
Overall, not too bad of a day, but we do have some storms here earlier this morning for areas well south of La Crosse towards the Wisconsin River. And now we have a few storms this evening too, very narrow, but a lot of areas won't see this activity, but you can see a shower in the distance there in the camera from La Crosse right now. Overall, still dry as you further north. We have a cold front that kind of pushed through, stalling out now in southern parts of the state. We do have activity that's kind of behind it that's actually producing a little bit of shower and storm activity. As we kind of zoom in, you can see there's still a little bit of activity pushing east now as Sparta to Vokesfield on the other side of the interstate. Also a few showers up to Winona too. That a lot of that is not reaching the ground. Overall, if we kind of zoom in, there's the rest of that activity that did produce some pretty good lightning. There's a Sparta and a little bit of precipitation. It should be passing here the interstate change there here in the next 30 minutes or so. Otherwise, we kind of zoom out. There's not much activity beyond that. A few showers here. Bigger picture as we zoom out, there's more activity potentially developing south of this cold front that could impact maybe northeast Iowa. That'll be a few hours from now, probably staying close to maybe Prairie du Chien. Otherwise, mainly dry conditions this evening. Temperatures only getting back down into the 50s. Overnight lows actually just dipping down into the 40s, maybe upper 30s. As we go on, we still got wet weather through Thursday to track out. Eventually, we dry out Friday. The weekend still looks good. And then maybe that 80 comes early next week.
All right, fingers crossed on that one. Thanks, Craig.
Well, a mock car crash demonstrated the dangers of drunk driving to GET students. First responders partnered with the high school to stage the mock car crash. As prom season approaches, the scene showed students the real-life consequences of driving under the influence.
The kids take away more from seeing the live action from the firefighters and the EMS doing her home, loading a body into the back of the hearse. It sets in a little more for the kids and kind of takes it home to them a little bit.
Aquinas Central and Logan high schools are also holding mock crashes this week.
La Crosse's bike sharing program is launching its 5th season. Drift Cycle's launch event today showcasing the service's new app. It is now easier for users to find one of their 13 bike stations around the city, including their newest one on Western Technical College's campus. The group's president says the bikes offer residents another convenient way to get around town.
And all benefit when more people are using bikes. We don't have to be in our single occupant vehicles. So the more we can get people out and riding, enjoying what's some of the beauty of this community and of this area, the bike is just a perfect way to do that.
Drift Cycle plans on adding more stations on the north side this summer.
La Crosse residents are discovering new ways to make their yards more environmentally friendly. The city's Parks Department launched the Grow Green Spring Kickoff event today. The event evolves the concept of No Mow May into a broader sustainable initiative.
Grow Green, we want to introduce people to more sustainable practices in lawn care, like planting pollinator native plants, rain gardens, doing what they can to practice sustainable lawn care versus just simply not mowing.
Participants explored hands-on stations offering seed identification and guidance on creating gardens that support pollinators.
Monroe County kids are learning the value of what's on their plate. The Toma Health Community Foundation donating $1,200 to the Boys and Girls Club of West Central Wisconsin today. That donation will create new programs teaching kids hands-on skills for preparing nutritious foods and making healthier dietary choices.
A kid is a happier kid, and a happier kid is one that's willing to learn and grow and participate actively. And so, you know, we already feed our kids, and so why not teach them a little bit more about nutrition and preparation?
The 10-week summer program will serve over 80 local children.
And tomorrow, a special report on News 8 Now. 37 years ago this week, a Southside La Crosse mother murdered in her home, her baby unharmed, with no suspects and no motive. The crime has gone unsolved for decades. Tomorrow at 6, a look back at the Linda Wegner cold case.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service brings thousands of visitors to Winona.
And officials are working to keep the agency in the city for the long run.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin family-owned turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
At US Cellular, you don't have to choose between a great deal on the phone you want and the phone plan that's right for you.
You can get both. 4 free phones of your choice and 4 lines for just $90.
Wow, kids, that's like us not having to choose between tickets to wrestling or that puppet musical.
We want a great phone and a great plan too, don't we, little guy?
Get both. 4 free phones of your choice plus 4 lines for $90. No trade-in needed. US Cellular, built for us.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
As the showers are rolling into downtown La Crosse, a new U.S. Fish and Wildlife Center could be coming to Winona.
But as News 8 Now's Allison Fergut explains, the project may hit a snag.
Right now, the city of Winona owns this property, but they're confident selling it to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service will bring thousands of new visitors to the area.
This April, the Winona Port Authority approved reselling this piece of land to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to build a contact center. They say the move will have long-term benefits. Right now, Winona houses Fish and Wildlife Service offices that work with the Upper Mississippi River Refuge.
There's thousands of people who visit the refuge each year, so we definitely see that as an economic benefit.
It's why Winona officials are keen on keeping the agency in the city.
Building this facility kind of anchors them into our community, which is a good thing.
Winona's Port Authority purchased the property for $1 million around a year ago. Although they're selling it for $50,000 less than that, they're confident the center will help them make that money back. While they're finalizing the deal, one other piece has to fall into place before the center can be built. The Fish and Wildlife Service will need congressional funding to complete the project. We reached out to the Fish and Wildlife Service, but they cannot comment at this time.
With the deal still being finalized, there's no timeline yet on when the new center would open. Reporting in Winona, Allison Fergut, News 8 Now.
All right, thank you, Allison.
We will have more news ahead.
But first,
we're going to have more showers and storms throughout the night and through tomorrow. Not everyone will see it. The better news is we'll eventually see drier conditions, but not until Friday. We'll time out what the temperatures look like Friday and, more importantly, what the weekend looks like. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Get an 11% rebate on your plumbing project at Menards. Upgrade your home's water softener for softer skin and cleaner clothes. Morton water softeners protect your appliances while tackling hard water. Get this water softener for $399.96 after rebate. Never run out of hot water again with a water heater from Richmond. Menards has a great selection of water heaters in stock, like this hybrid heat pump electric water heater for $1419.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
In the hunt, every detail matters. It's not just about the thrill, but a passion for the craft. And in the end, it's about the people you get to be with. At Overhead Door, it's about our team and those we get to serve. We can repair any garage door, but we only install the best. Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region. since 1921.
The Meats family has finally gained a member. Meet Applewood Smoked Ham. Smoked is their middle name. 2 for $7 ham and Swiss melts. Arby's, we have the meats.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources now. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org.
Your home, a place of comfort and safety, could be trying to tell you something. Interior cracks, sloping floors, hard to open doors and windows are all signals of foundation failure that you can't ignore. Choose American Waterworks.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Whether you choose an electric Honda or a hybrid. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Overall EV and Hybrid brand. Right now, you can get a 3.49% APR on a 2025 CR-V Hybrid.
Well, some areas that might actually see some showers and thunderstorms this evening. Really, it's a small area along I-90, and right now they're pushing east too. We just had one here again. Really can't even detect it. It's too small. Otherwise, most of the other activity now is probably pushed east of the interchange there at 94 and 90. We might see a few more, but then you have to keep an eye towards northeast Iowa, towards Decorah. I think you'll start seeing this is kind of where that cold front is situated right now. A few developments here in a couple hours. That probably won't move much further north. It probably goes east. So maybe Crawford, Prairie du Chien might see some of that activity later in the night. Then we're going to start seeing general activity develop probably late, closer to midnight. It could be along I-90 or just south of the area right now. That'll persist probably for a few hours, so La Crosse may see another opportunity. Now going in tomorrow morning, still a little bit of question how far north this line of light rain showers or storms will get. Some indications it may kind of stay closer to I-90, but it definitely will not probably get closer to Eau Claire. It's going to probably stay just south. So we could see a wet morning commute for some areas, and then further south of the line, we might see additional development through 8 or 9. So you might see a wet commute. We're not expecting really thunderstorms as much as it'll be more light showers through the morning. After that, we'll continue to see that activity kind of dissipate a little bit towards the late morning, and then more activity will develop west of the area with this next system, the really main feature that we're going to be coming through Thursday night and Friday. That'll develop a larger area of showers and storms in the afternoon. This will expand probably after 4 p.m. to a lot of the areas. I expect more wet conditions towards tomorrow's evening commute, especially further north you go. And then throughout the night, watch as another area begins to pull northward, and that really will present a wet overnight period, especially past midnight. This will continue to persist. Probably going to be a wet Friday morning also for the morning commute. The better news is once we get past about Friday noon or 2 p.m.-ish for some areas, the rain's probably going to stop. We'll just see cloud cover really persist. And even better, as that low begins to push further east, Friday evening, we should start seeing some clearing towards Friday afternoon. The only problem with this north wind, it is going to feel cooler Friday, probably the coldest day we've had in the 8-day period with that north wind. Could be breezy at times too, but we're not expecting any wet conditions for Friday evening activities. Precipitation amounts, now this really depends on how everything lines up with thunderstorms, but right now there will be a corridor area that could pick up 1.5 inches from now all the way to about Friday noon. Lesser amounts further east. But this all, once again, depends. If you get a couple thunderstorms going in the same area, you can really pile on the amounts. But overall, another good soaking rain for this month of April, which is going to end up being fairly wet. Tomorrow's highs a few degrees cooler. If you want the 70s, got to get further south and east where they'll have a little bit more sunshine. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit cooler than we saw today. Friday, definitely the coldest day of the period. As I said, low 50s in the north, maybe mid 50s, about 5 to 7 degrees below average. But that north wind will also be blowing, so it'll make it feel not as warm. Better news Saturday. We're going to have temperatures then climbing well into the 60s, about average, and it gets even better Sunday, potentially 70. Unfortunately, we do have some severe weather coming next week when we might hit 80 before a cold front comes through. So pay attention to Monday afternoon and night as we get closer to the event. Once that passes, we're going to cool the temperatures back down to kind of where we should be, about the mid 60s, the middle of next week. So hit and miss stuff through about Thursday, and Thursday night looks pretty wet, and then it gets a little bit more pleasant as we go to the weekend. The weekend so far looks dry and good.
All right. Thanks, Greg. Coming up next in sports, protecting home court. The Bucks will need to use some home cooking to get back in their series with Indy. Plus, the News 8 Play of the Week nominees return, including a few viewer submissions. Jacob is next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
Well, when they came to install things, they were very timely. They were very professional and told us exactly how long we would be without water, which was helpful to plan. You know, they came in, did the job, they left, you didn't even know they were there.
Looking to upgrade your home? Save big this month at Wesco in Sparta. Buy one furniture item at regular price and get the second at 50% off. Or buy 2 items at regular price and get the third at 75% off. Want to save even more? Buy 3 items at regular price and get the 4th absolutely free. Don't miss out. Shop Wesco in Sparta today. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. Tell them Peyton sent you.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Hey! This $5 Mega Millions game is super exciting!
There are prize multipliers built into every play. So the lowest prize you can win is $10. Plus, it has bigger jackpots more often with better chances to win it!
$5 Mega Millions really is something to shout about.
It's available at Wisconsin lottery retailers near you, like this one.
So one of the things I really liked is the agenda sheet. I found to be very helpful because it clearly outlined what they were going to do and how they were going to do it. So there was no surprises.
Covering all the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Jacob Lenzendorf.
Well, a late push by the Bucks made it a game against the Pacers, but Indianapolis answered with an 8-2 run, and Indy locked up a 2-0 advantage in the series. There were glimpses of positive things done by Milwaukee, but it did not end up being enough as they fell 123-115. The Bucks shot over 50% from the field and made over 40% of their threes, but poor starts to the game in second half, plus 15 turnovers were some of the downfalls for Doc Rivers' team. The series now shifts to Milwaukee on Friday with tip-off scheduled for 7 o'clock. The Deer are looking to make it out of the first round for the first time since 2022. All right, now it's time for the News 8 Play of the Week nominees. And as you heard, this week's theme is viewer submissions. We got a few of them, so let's see what we've got. All right, getting us going at number 1. This from last night. Onalaska facing Holman in girls soccer. Scoreless until Isabella Kromke lets one fly from long distance and buries it. Hilltoppers went on to win 2-0. Our next option for this week, Seneca at Westby, and Hayden Thurin up with the bases loaded for the Norsemen, gets a hold of that pitch and blasts it out of the park for a grand slam. The sophomore drove in 5 runs in the game. Westby went on to win that one by a final of 15-5. An appropriately numbered nominee here at number 3, and that's because Josie Brudos of West Salem knocked out 3 home runs back on Monday, driving in 9 of the Panthers' 22 in a blowout win against Luther. Brudos also pitching a 1-hitter, and thanks to her teammate Megan Johnson for sending this one over. Another viewer submission coming your way at number 4 will say Cooper Zeman gets the nominee, but really it's a few girls on the same page defensively for Melrose Minduro. Bases loaded, Zeman to home for 1. Haley Hiles delivers it to first, but then Opal Buchanan throws it back home, and Hiles gets the outs to end the inning. Good play right there. And finally at number 5, we saw the powerful bats, we saw good defense, but How about some elite pitching in the circle? Abby Zielkowski of Aquinas with a no-hitter in a 1-0 win over Central. She struck out 7 in the victory. So a lot from the softball diamond, but some very different plays and displays of performances to highlight another strong week. And to cast your vote, head to news8000.com. Under the sports tab, click on Play of the Week and choose your favorite. Voting ends Friday at 5. So guys, we love to see all the viewer submissions, so keep them coming.
Yes.
My email is out there if anyone needs to find it. So what are we liking this week, guys? A lot of softball. But,
I liked that team effort Cooper Zeman one.
That's
that
a
one
good
was
play.
fun. Yeah.
3 home runs, 9 RBIs, and 1 hitter from the circle. That's a heck of an individual performance from Josie Brutus.
Lots of good stuff all the way around. So no bad options this week.
No, not at all. Keep them coming, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
Meeting you locally where you are online. Miss a story? See it again or watch us live on YouTube at WKBT News 8 Now.
Right now, during Home Furniture's spring sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Get 5, 10, and even 15% off sale prices throughout the store. Plus, pay no interest for up to 5 years on brand name mattresses. Hurry, the spring sale ends Monday at Home Furniture.
Here at Schneider Heating, we have a huge emphasis on culture, getting along, working together. We follow through on our promises, and we get the job done.
We will do what we need to do to ensure that you are safe, comfortable, and happy.
We have a lot of veteran installers who really care, and even more put their mind at ease by installing Carrier equipment.
We're not just putting in a furnace. You know, you're hiring the whole company. You're hiring our service department, our install department. Just a ton of experience. We're very helpful.
Cooley Carpet has always been more than just carpet, and now the name will reflect that. Cooley Floors and Design. Along with the brand new name, there's a fresh new look to the showroom. Don't worry, Cooley Floors and Design still has the same great team at the same convenient location. Ready to elevate your space? The design consultants will take the time to discuss your dreams, needs, and your budget. Cooley Floors and Design will accompany you through every step from expert advice to professional installation. Visit Cooley Floors and Design on Mormon Cooley Road for a fresh new look.
It's the spring patio sale at Home Seasonal Concepts. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Get 5, 10, and even 15% off sale prices on porch and patio. Plus, get a free collapsible wagon for all your outdoor activities. The spring patio sale at Home Seasonal Concepts.
All right, if you're along the I-90 corridor, which we just had a storm come across, definitely could see that for the next few hours. Really, it's the small cells, but still dumped about 1/10 of an inch here. Could be some minor hail, too, with that. Keep an eye on Decorah area there, too, for additional storms, but we have more Thursday, finally drying out by Friday afternoon.
All right. Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.